What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler, or T-Fish, and today we're going to be discussing the feeling of being stuck, particularly in your 20s. This is something I've struggled with off and on, and so I figured if I do it, somebody else has to as well. We got 3 points I'm going to be covering today, hitting on in the video. First one is the feeling of being overwhelmed by expectations, yours and the ones that are set for you by other people, how the path you choose affects that, and how you probably didn't even choose your path, and the effects of the lack of clear direction. Before we get into it, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Let's start with the biggest one, expectations. By the time you hit your 20s, society's already laid out a path for you. That is, graduate, land a good job, make a boatload of money, find a partner, get married, and buy a house. And by your 30s, those pressures multiply. If you don't have those boxes checked off, it kind of feels like you're behind everyone else. Speaking from experience, I'm nearing my 30s. I'm officially unk status to a lot of people in my life, and some of these things made me nervous. But here's the truth: most of those expectations come from outside voices, your parents, teachers, society, even some random dude on social media. They aren't rules, but we treat them like they are. And when your reality doesn't match those expectations, you feel like a failure. For example, maybe you thought you'd be making 6 figures by now, but you're still trying to pay off student loans. Maybe you thought you'd be married with kids, shout out Al Bundy, but your single and dating apps are literally exhausting. Maybe you thought you'd have a house, but rent is eating half your paycheck, which is the truth for a large amount of Americans. That gap, that distance between what you thought life would look like and what it actually looks like, is where the feeling of being stuck lives. Now let's talk about the pathways chosen for you. How many of your decisions were really your decisions? Think about that. Did you choose your major in college because you loved it or because it seemed safe? Did you pick your career because you're passionate about it or because it made your parents proud? Did you move to the city because you wanted to or because that's where everyone else was going? A lot of us wake up in our late 20s and early 30s and realize we've been living life on autopilot, following the script that's been handed to us. The problem is that script doesn't fit everybody. And when you're climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall, eventually you stop and think, hold up, wait, whoa, why am I even climbing this fucking ladder? That's when the stuckness sets in. You're doing all the right things, but they don't feel right for you. Here's another reason you feel stuck. You don't actually know what you want. And this is way more common than people admit. A lot of us know what we don't want. We don't want to hate our jobs. We don't want to be broke. And we don't want to be in a toxic relationship. But when it comes to what we do want, we freeze. And that's where paralysis comes in. It's kind of like being at a restaurant with a massive menu. You don't know what to pick, so you just don't. You default to the safe option even if you're not excited about it. It's getting the same thing at the drive-thru every time. It's getting the same thing at a restaurant every time. It's watching the same movie every Friday night because you know it's comfortable. In real life, like I said, it's all of those things. It's staying at the job that you don't love because what else would you be doing? Staying in the relationship you've outgrown because the idea of being single again feels terrifying. The longer you stay there, the more stuck you feel. Now here's a perspective shift. Being stuck isn't actually always a bad thing. It's often a sign that you're outgrowing the life you've been living. It's your brain and your body saying this isn't it, something has to change. Think about it. If everything were perfectly fine, you wouldn't feel restless. That stuck feeling is actually a signal. It's telling you it's time to start steering your life in a different direction. So what do you actually do about it? Now here's a few steps that'll help per research, and I'm actively going through this myself as well. First, redefine success. Stop using somebody else's checklist. Success doesn't mean to the house, the car, and the 6-figure salary. It can mean freedom, flexibility, creativity, or peace of mind. For me, success for me was a corner office with a view and a fast car and models and all that when I was younger. And now I'm older and it's more like land and a good savings and a smart financial life. And I don't want a Ferrari. I'm 6'4" and 300 pounds. A Ferrari is not happening. But, I would love a pickup truck. Like I would love an F-150 or a Dodge Ram. It's different for everybody, but what we're fed is the same thing. Next, number 2, first is redefine success. We talked about it. Number 2, experiment, but don't overthink it. You don't find clarity by sitting in your room thinking harder. You find it by actually doing the things that you need to try. So try these new things. Take a course, travel, start a side project, meet new people. Clarity comes through movement. Accept being in progress is number 3. Your 20s and your 30s are not the finish line. They're literally the test lab. Gary Vee says this all the time. Like, if you're 40, you're still young. I think he's a little off his rocker, but cool. Nobody has it all figured out, even the people who look like they do. So give yourself permission to be in the middle of the process. Number 4, filter expectations. Ask yourself, whose voice am I listening to right now? Is this what I really want or what I think I'm supposed to want? So if you're feeling stuck in your 20s or 30s, remember this. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're just in the middle of figuring out what life actually means for you. Feeling stuck is part of the process. It's a signal that change is needed, and that's not something to fear. It's something to embrace. So ask yourself, what's one small step you could take this week that's for you and not for anyone else's expectations? Because once you start moving, the feeling of being stuck begins to fade. If this hit you in any way, hit that like button, subscribe. Drop a comment telling me what makes you feel stuck the most right now. Who knows? Anybody reading this could take inspiration from your story. You might be able to figure it out just by getting it on pen and paper. Sometimes that helps as well. But I hope you guys figure it out. Leave a comment. I'm down to talk. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.